Summary of the life and career of Cyrus the Great, founder of the mighty Achaemenid Empire. Chapter 1, Childhood and Legend, 600 to 580 BCE. Cyrus the Great, or Cyrus II of Persia, was born around 600 to 580 BCE in Persis, now Fars province, Iran, a region under the Median Empire. He was the son of Cambyses I, king of Anshan, and Mandane, a Median princess, daughter of King Astyages. According to a legend recounted by Herodotus, Astyages dreamed that his grandson would overthrow him, so he ordered Harpagus, a loyal noble, to kill the child. Harpagus, unable to bring himself to kill the child, entrusted him to a shepherd to raise. Cyrus grew up in humble circumstances but displayed exceptional leadership and intelligence from a young age. From his early years, he showed keen observation, courage, and respect for common people, qualities that later became core values in his governance. A notable event was when, as a child, Cyrus defeated and commanded the son of a Median noble in a game, an act beyond the bounds of a common child that revealed his true identity. Astyages recognized his grandson but did not punish him, instead sending Cyrus back to Anshan. However, to punish Harpagus, he killed his son, an act that ignited a deep grudge. Cyrus was raised as a prince, educated in military and governance matters. Although the legend surrounding his childhood lacks substantial evidence, the image of a boy who survived through compassion and a grand destiny became a foundational myth for his later career. From the outset, he embodied the spirit of overcoming fate, turning limitations into strengths, and rising from hardship to greatness. Chapter 2, Marriage and Rise to Power, 580 to 559 BCE. Cyrus married Cassandane, a noblewoman of the Achaemenid lineage, whom he deeply loved. They had several children, including Cambyses II, his successor, Bardia, and 3 daughters. In 559 BCE, after his father's death, Cyrus ascended to the throne of Anshan. His succession was widely supported by tribal leaders, who recognized his calm demeanor, rationality, and compassion, rare qualities among rulers of the time. Although Anshan was a vassal of Media, Cyrus quickly displayed grand ambitions. He built a formidable army, effectively utilizing cavalry and adopting tactics from neighboring empires. His talent and cautious leadership rapidly garnered support. At the same time, he introduced internal reforms to strengthen unity among the Persian tribes. Astyages' authoritarian rule caused discontent among many Median nobles. Harpagus, harboring old grievances, secretly allied with Cyrus. This was a preparatory step for one of the most significant uprisings in ancient Middle Eastern history. Cyrus acted not only out of ambition but also from a belief that a leader must be chosen and respected by the people, not merely rule through force. Chapter 3, Overthrow of Media and Founding of the Achaemenid Empire, 553 to 550 BCE. In 553 BCE, Cyrus launched a rebellion against Astyages. With the support of Harpagus and many Median nobles, he achieved significant victories. In 550 BCE, the Median army overthrew Astyages and handed him over to Cyrus. Cyrus spared his life and treated him leniently. This leniency was not merely tactical but a core principle of his leadership, inspiring loyalty among the defeated. Capturing Ecbatana, the Median capital, Cyrus declared himself king of Media and Persia, founding the Achaemenid Empire. Some ancient sources suggest he married Amytis, Astyages' daughter, to consolidate power, though this is unverified. Nevertheless, this indicates his understanding of subtle political strategies, strengthening alliances through marriage rather than the sword. Cyrus reorganized the administrative system, appointing trusted relatives and loyalists to strategic positions. He began constructing Pasargadae, the first capital of the empire. This marked the start of an efficient governance model that respected the identities of conquered regions. His state structure later influenced empires like Rome and the Ottomans. Chapter 4, Conquest of Lydia, 547 to 546 BCE. Following his success in Media, Cyrus attacked Lydia, a wealthy kingdom under Croesus. The Battle of Tyria was inconclusive, but at the Battle of Thymbra, Cyrus employed innovative tactics to defeat Croesus and capture the capital, Sardis. Croesus was captured but spared and retained as an advisor, a hallmark of Cyrus's lenient policy. This earned him respect not only from his people but also from former enemies. The victory in Lydia gave Cyrus control over Asia Minor and access to the Greek coastal city-states. He allowed regions to retain their cultures and religions, ensuring stability. The gold Croceid coins, previously minted by Lydia, continued to circulate under Cyrus, promoting trade and confidence in the empire's financial system. Maintaining local currency exemplified his flexible and inclusive economic policies. The Lydia campaign also showcased the full maturity of the Achaemenid army and Cyrus's military genius, not only as a king but as a brilliant strategist. In Lydia, he demonstrated rapid battlefield adaptability and a philosophy of winning without destroying. Chapter 5, Conquest of Babylon, 539 BCE. In 539 BCE, Cyrus turned to Babylon, a major cultural, religious, and political center of Mesopotamia. Under King Nabonidus, Babylon's people were dissatisfied due to his authoritarian religious policies and neglect of traditional temples. Cyrus seized the opportunity, combining military strength with propaganda to win the people's favor. The Battle of Opis on the Tigris River was a decisive victory, paving the way for the Persian army to enter the city. After peacefully capturing Sippar, now in Iraq, Cyrus marched into Babylon, welcomed by the people as a liberator. Cyrus declared respect for local gods, reformed the administration, and restored order. He returned statues of gods taken by Nabonidus and allowed exiled peoples, including the Jews, to return to their homelands. This policy was recorded in the Cyrus Cylinder, a clay document buried under the foundation of the Marduk temple. This leniency earned him the title, Anointed by the Lord, in the Hebrew Bible, an unprecedented honor for a non-Israelite king. The impact of this act extended beyond religion. It established Cyrus as an ethical leader who prioritized peace and justice. Cyrus also established an administrative system in Babylon, respecting local rules and traditions. He did not dismantle but integrated. Babylonian officials were retained, and Mesopotamian laws continued under the oversight of governors. This reflected his strategic vision, building on existing foundations rather than erasing them, a consistent philosophy of his rule. Cyrus's economic policies in Babylon included restoring canals, roads, issuing currency, and rebuilding agriculture. He revived the wheat storage system and built large granaries. Babylon was not merely a conquered city but a vital cultural and administrative hub in the Achaemenid Empire. The Babylon campaign marked the pinnacle of Cyrus's power, not only for territorial expansion but for redefining conquest, not just through weapons but through compassion, wisdom, and understanding of the people's psyche. From here, he was no longer a warrior but a father to many nations. Chapter 6, Empire Expansion and Final Years, 539 to 530 BCE. After the victory in Babylon, Cyrus continued to expand the empire eastward and northward, conquering regions like Bactria, Sogdiana, and the Indus River Valley. He did not impose Persian culture but encouraged diversity. Local tribes retained their traditional leaders if they swore allegiance. This maintained order and reduced cultural conflicts, forming a confederation empire, where ethnic groups coexisted under Achaemenid patronage. He built the city of Syropolis on the eastern frontier, a fortified stronghold protecting the borders from nomadic tribes. Syropolis symbolized his ability to control distant lands and strategic foresight in establishing trade hubs along the nascent Silk Road. The network of roads, warehouses, and postal systems expanded, linking major provinces with the capital, Pasargadae. In his final years, Cyrus focused on strengthening governance. He perfected the satrapy model with 20 major provinces, each with significant autonomy but required to pay taxes and follow central policies. Each governor was overseen by a special inspector, eye of the king, to prevent corruption and rebellion. This administrative model was sustainable and profoundly influenced later empires like Rome, Byzantium, and the Ottomans. In spiritual life, Cyrus promoted Zoroastrianism, a religion that later became Persia's state religion. While not imposing faith, he funded temple construction and championed ethical values like truth, order, and tolerance, foundations of the empire's ideals. He also patronized art, architecture, and knowledge, with Pasargadae emerging as a new cultural center. In 530 BCE, Cyrus personally led a campaign against the Massagetæ near the Amu Darya River. According to Herodotus, he used a stratagem to capture Spargopizes, the son of Queen Tomarus, who then committed suicide in despair. Tomarus vowed revenge, and after a fierce battle, Cyrus was killed. However, other sources suggest he died naturally. Despite debates over his death, his passing sent shockwaves across Western Asia. Cyrus's body was brought to Pasargadae and buried in a simple yet majestic stone tomb. The inscription on his tomb reads, "O passerby, I am Cyrus, who conquered this world and gave it freedom. Do not harm my tomb." A reminder of the humility and philosophy of a great king. Chapter 7, Legacy of Cyrus the Great. Cyrus left behind an empire stretching from India to the Mediterranean, the largest in antiquity. Yet his greatest legacy lies not in territory but in how he treated enemies, conquered peoples, and power itself. He taught that tolerance is stronger than violence, and respect for local cultures is more enduring than imposition. Cyrus is celebrated in the Bible, in Xenophon's Cyropedia, and across centuries, he became a symbol of the ideal king. At the United Nations headquarters in New York, a replica of the Cyrus Cylinder is displayed as the oldest declaration of human rights, evidence of his timeless ideological influence. The Confederation Empire model Cyrus created laid the foundation for modern federalism. His policies of lenient taxation, provincial autonomy, respect for religions, and protection of minorities were ideas millennia ahead of their time. Even Alexander the Great, upon conquering Persia, visited Pasargadae and paid homage to Cyrus's tomb, something he did for no other king. Cyrus's tomb in Pasargadae still stands in Iran today and is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. This simple but sturdy stone structure testifies to his humble and noble philosophy. Visitors from around the world continue to come here to pay respects to a towering figure who transcended time. Cyrus proved that an empire could be strong not through fear but through trust. Trust in justice, diversity, and human dignity. This made him not only a conqueror but a shaper of the ancient world, and an inspiration for the modern world.